Greetings for the day. I welcome you all for the course Fluid Power. Today's session is about analysis of double acting cylinder circuit and regenerative circuit. So basically we will study how to calculate pressure generated during extension stroke and retraction stroke for double acting cylinder circuit, then the velocity of extension and retraction, and lastly power required for extension stroke and retraction stroke. Similarly, for regenerative circuit, we will design a circuit first and then we'll try to analyze that circuit using pressure generated, velocity, and power required for extension and retraction stroke. So let us move for understanding the analysis of double acting cylinder. So here our intention is to calculate pressure, velocity and power during extension of double acting cylinder, and then we'll go for retraction stroke. So the numerical is given as a pump supplies oil at 0.016 cubic meters per second to 40 diameter double acting cylinder. If the external load acting on the cylinder during extension and retraction is 5000 Newton and the connecting rod is 20 find hydraulic pressure during extension, velocity of piston during extension, power in kilowatt during extension. Similarly, pressure during retraction, velocity during retraction, and power during the retraction. So now let us try to draw the simple circuit which we have studied in the previous lectures. So this is hydraulic cylinder. This is the piston. This piston divides the cylinder into two parts. This is called as blank end, which has 40 diameter. So basically it is diameter of piston. Then we have a connecting rod. Now since in this particular end there is the connecting rod, so it is called as rod end. Its diameter is given as 20 Then we have this force which is to be extended and retracted. So this force is equal to 5000 Newton. Then we have, so basically Fe is force for extension and Fr is for retraction, which is 5000 Newton. So since we are going to calculate pressure, velocity and power during the extension stroke, so as we know that direction of cylinder motion is from left to right. So this shows the or indicates the direction of cylinder motion during extension. Now we know that there is one port at a blank end and one port at a rod end. So it is called as double acting cylinder because oil will act on both the ends of pistons. So now we have a positive displacement pump and a tank. So this positive displacement pump supplies oil at 0.016 cubic meters per second. So basically this is the discharge or output of the hydraulic pump, positive displacement pump. So let us go for the extension stroke now. So we have one block or one envelope or switching position of direction control valve where there are four ports. First port is port P and another port is port A. So here port P is connected to outlet of pump. So liquid which is coming from pump will be delivered to P with this discharge which is 0.016 cubic meters per second. So this is the first port P. Then as I have already said, this QP is nothing but discharge provided by this pump which is 0.016 cubic meters per second. Then we have second port A which is connected to blank end port. So when the liquid which is coming from pump will be delivered to P to A and A to the blank end port, then because of the liquid which is being supplied at this point, the liquid will enter from the blank end and it will try to push this piston towards the right hand side. So now you must understand that to to reciprocate this particular load on the right hand side, cylinder is giving or cylinder is exerting the force at this point from this with this particular direction, and at the same time liquid which is available at rod end simultaneously will be taken out from this rod end port to port B, which is shown here. Then it will be taken to port T, and ultimately it will be taken to the tank. So this is how at the same time liquid which is available at rod end will be taken to B, B to T, and T to tank. So now you must understand one thing, that since this port or the liquid which is available at rod end is drained out to the tank, so there is no pressure developed at this particular portion. So pressure is only developed at the blank end because of load which is acting on the connecting rod, and that rod has to be extended. So you must understand one thing, that at this point or during extension, pressure will be generated at the blank end side of the piston and in the pressure line, which is the outlet of pump. But pressure will not be generated on the rod end side because it is directly connected to the tank. So now let us try to calculate the pressure during the extension. So as we know that according to the Pascal's law, pressure generated in the hydraulic system is because of force which is acting per unit area. So this force at this point of movement is acting on the piston, because since the liquid is entering from the piston, we need to consider the area of piston. That means the diameter of piston. So by considering the diameter of piston, we can calculate the cross-sectional area of this hydraulic cylinder. So now let us try to calculate the pressure during the extension. So this is the cylinder, piston, blank end with a diameter, or the diameter of this piston or this cylinder is 40 mm. So this is the connecting rod with rod end, and its diameter is 20 mm. Now this force acting on the cylinder is F extension or F retraction is equal to 5000 Newton. And this is the direction of cylinder motion. Now we have these two ports, the pump, the liquid which is coming from pump will be delivered to the port P with this particular discharge, and from port P to A with the blank end, and now this blank end, the liquid which is entering from the blank end will push this piston towards the right hand side. So at the same time, so at this particular moment, as we know that the pressure generated in the hydraulic system is because of force acting per unit area. So here force of extension is 5000 Newton, and area is nothing but the area of this blank end side. So we can consider this as area of piston. So we can replace this with P will be replaced with pressure extension, F will be replaced with force required or force of extension, and this area is replaced by area of piston. So as we know that F extension is nothing but 5000 Newton. Now we need to know the area of piston. So area of piston can be calculated by, before that we can visualize where this pressure extension is going to located. So this direction or these arrows indicate that this pressure extension. Now to calculate area of piston, we can consider the diameter of piston. So it is nothing but pi by 4 dp square, which is nothing but the diameter of piston, and which is given as 0.04 meters, which is basically 40 mm. So area of piston can be calculated by considering formula pi by 4 0.04 square. Now putting these values in this particular formula, we get answer as pressure extension is equal to 5000 Newton force, and area which is pi by 4 0.04 meter square. So we get answer, we got the answer as 3978.87 kilopascal. So this is the pressure which is being generated during the extension stroke because of load acting on this piston end or the blank end. So this is how pressure during the extension can be calculated. As I already said, since the rod end side and its rod end, the port which is connected to the rod end is connected to the tank through port B and T. So there is no the pressure generated at this portion. Hence, it is considered to be the atmospheric pressure or the zero pressure, you can consider. Now let us try to calculate the velocity during extension. So again, we will consider the same circuit. So here we have this extension force is equal to 5000 Newton. Diameter of piston is 40 and diameter of the connecting rod is 20. This is the cylinder motion. Now we have two ports, then we have pump, we have the direction control valve. Now let us try to calculate the velocity of piston during the extension. So as we know that relationship between velocity, discharge and area is that discharge Q is equal to area into velocity. So to calculate velocity, we will rearrange this term. So we will write velocity is equal to discharge divided by area. So now we know that since we have to calculate this velocity for extension stroke, so the discharge which is coming from pump will be considered and area of piston will be considered because since the oil is being added in the blanket area, so the amount of oil which is being added here depend on that the velocity will be it depends on the velocity. So this V will be replaced by V extension, which is shown here, direction of V extension. This Q is replaced by Q in or QP, which is the output of pump, and this A will be replaced by area of piston. So as we know that area of piston can be calculated by considering the diameter of piston, which is pi by 4 3p square, which is 0.04 square. So by putting these values, we get answer as V extension is equal to 0.0016, which is output of pump, that is the pump discharge, divided by area of piston, which is 0.04 square, pi by 4 0.04 square. So answer of velocity extension is equal to 1.27 meter per seconds. Now let us also the at this as I already said, since the rod end liquid is connected to the tank, so it has no pressure generated because of force acting on system. Now let us try to calculate the power required for the extension stroke. So again, we will consider all these parameters with the same circuit, and now we'll try to develop the equation for power. So as we know that the relationship between power, force and velocity is that power is equal to force into velocity. So our power is equal to force times velocity. So this P will be replaced by power extension, F will be replaced by force of extension, and V will be replaced by velocity of extension. So as we know that the power required for extension is depends on the load which is acting or the load which is to be extended for this forward stroke has to be extended for the forward stroke and with the velocity at which the load has to be extended. So this velocity of extension and force extension will give you power extension. So we know we have force extension is equal to 5000 Newton, and just now we have calculated the velocity of extension. So we will put these values over here. So we'll get power extension is equal to 5000 into 1.27, which is equal to 6.36 kilowatt. So this is how power during the extension can be calculated. Now let us move for the retraction. So as we know that for retraction, the oil which is being added from the rod end side, so wherever we need to consider the area of cross section or cross sectional area, we need to consider the area of area of the rod end, which is nothing but the area of cylinder subtracted by the area of the connecting rod. So now let us try to calculate the pressure during retraction. Okay, so let us consider this cylinder with piston and connecting rod with blank end and rod end. Now the cylinder direction or the direction of cylinder motion is reversed because we have to move from right hand side to left hand side. So this piston will move from right hand side to the left hand side. So for that we need to add liquid from rod end, and the liquid which is available at blank end to be taken out and which is given to the tank. Okay, so these are the two ports. One is for the blank end, another one is for the rod end. We have pump which is supplying the same amount of discharge, which is 0.016 cubic meters per second. So now we have this direction control valve with 4 ports A, B, P, T. So for the retraction stroke, as we know that liquid which is coming from pump will be delivered to P and from P to B. So P is connected to B, so liquid will move from P to B. And now since B is connected to the rod end, liquid will start entering from the rod end, and then it will push this piston towards the left hand side. So this the direction of the cylinder motion or the cylinder force is shown by these arrows, which is considered to be the pressure retraction. So we have already established the relationship between pressure, force and area. So this P will be replaced by P retraction, force will be replaced by force retraction, and area is replaced by area of piston minus area of connecting rod. Now as I already said, since the liquid is entering from the rod end side, this area of the rod end can be calculated by considering area of piston minus area of connecting rod. So that is why this A is been replaced with this particular term. Okay. Now, as I already said, this piston, this liquid which is entering from rod end will try to push this piston towards the left hand side. So this shows the cylinder force because of pressure acting on the rod end side, which is nothing but pressure of retraction. Okay, so now let us try to, as I already said, this F is nothing but 5000 Newton. Now, and this rod end area is AP minus AR. So as we know that diameter of piston is 40 mm and diameter of connecting rod is 20 mm. So AP minus AR can be calculated by considering relationship. This is pi by 4 dp square minus dr square, which is nothing but pi by 4 into 0.04 square minus 0.02 square. So by putting all the values in this equation, we get answer that pressure during the retraction, sorry, this is by mistake I have written extension, but this is just retraction. So this pressure retraction is equal to 530516 kilopascal. So as we know that when the liquid will start entering from the rod end, at the same time liquid which is available at blank end will be taken out from the this particular port to A, from port A to T, and from T to the tank. So that is why no pressure will be generated in the blank end side, because the blank end side is directly connected to the tank. It is not acting against any kind of force. Okay, so now let us try to calculate the velocity during retraction. So as we know that this velocity during the retraction is responsible on two parameters. One is the discharge which is given by pump. So amount the liquid which is coming from the pump with some discharge, and the velocity and the area from which it is being entered in the cylinder. So liquid which is coming from pump is being added in the cylinder from the rod end. So the rod end area must be considered along with the discharge of pump. So let us try to establish the relationship between this velocity, discharge and the area. So velocity of piston during the retraction, this is by mistake I have written extension, but this is for retraction. So for retraction this V will be replaced by V retraction, U will be replaced by the Q in or QP, and the area will be replaced by area of piston minus area of connecting rod. So this is calculated by considering this formulae and the relationship. So by putting all the values in the equation, we get that velocity of retraction is equal to 0.016, which is nothing but basically the discharge of pump, divided by pi by 4 0.04 square minus 0.02 square. So we get answer as 1.69 meter per second. Now let us try to calculate the power during retraction. So we have already developed the relationship for power. So power is based on the force which is acting for the retraction stroke and the velocity with which this force is to be retracted. So let us try to calculate this for retraction. So again by mistake I have just copied it from the previous slide, so I have written extension here, but it should be retraction. So this P will be replaced by P retraction, F will be replaced by F retraction, and V will be replaced by V retraction. So basically force retraction, velocity retraction and power retraction. So we will put all the values over here. So we get answer as so it is nothing but power during the retraction will be equal to 5000 into 1.69, which is basically velocity of retraction, which we have calculated in the previous slide. So by taking multiplication of these two parameters, we get answer as 8.48 kilowatt. Now let us try to compare the various parameters and its magnitude for extension and retraction stroke. So let us begin with the pressure, velocity, and then we'll go for power. So as we know that pressure during extension can be calculated by considering F extension divided by area of piston. So since this area of piston is considered, and for retraction, since pressure of retraction can be calculated by considering force for the retraction stroke divided by AP minus AR. So since here AP is used and here AP minus AR is used, so obviously area of piston is larger than the area of piston minus area of connecting rod, and this will affect on the magnitude of pressure generated during extension and pressure generated during retraction. So pressure generated during extension was 3978 and for retraction it was 5305. Now this is happening because of area which is being considered for these two strokes. So this proves that pressure generated during extension stroke is always lesser than pressure generated during the retraction stroke. This is because this areas. Okay. Now let us go for velocity. So velocity, as we know that velocity can be calculated by considering the areas from which the oil is being added in the cylinder. So for extension, oil is added from the blank end. So we will consider area of piston, and from retraction, for retraction, oil is being added from the rod end. So we will consider area of rod end. So which is nothing but AP minus AR. So this also makes that the velocity of extension is always less than velocity of retraction. So velocity of extension is 1.27 meter per second, which is less than the velocity of retraction, which is 1.69 meter per second. Similarly, for power, the power is based on force and the velocity. If the velocity is lesser, then obviously by keeping force constant, then obviously pressure will be also less, the power will be also less for extension than the retraction. So here this velocity for extension is lesser than the velocity of retraction. That makes that power required for extension stroke is 6.36 kilowatt, which is lesser than power which is power which is required for the retraction, which is 8.48 kilowatts. So this is how the extension and retraction stroke can be compared for these parameters as pressure, velocity, and power. Okay. So now students, let us study regenerative circuit, which is used for achieving the extension with high speed or with fast speed or velocity. So the meaning of regenerative circuit is that the liquid which is available on rod end, suppose if we are considering extension stroke, then as we know that for extension stroke, liquid will be added from the blank end, and liquid which is available at rod end will be drained back to the tank. But in the regenerative circuit, for extension stroke, suppose the liquid will be added from the blank end, and the liquid which is available at rod end will be again given to the outlet of pump, or it will be supplied again to the pressure line instead of given it to the tank, or instead of drain back to the tank. And that is why it is called as regenerative circuit. I will reiterate it once again, that suppose for simple double acting cylinder circuit, for extension stroke, the liquid will be added from the rod end, and liquid which is available at sorry, for extension stroke, liquid will be added from blank end, and liquids which is available at rod end will be taken out and it will given to the tank. So instead of doing that in regenerative circuit, the liquid which is available at rod end will be again supplied to the outlet of pump or to the pressure line. Okay, so that is why it is called as regenerative circuit. Now since the discharge which is supplied to the blank end is addition of discharge which is coming from pump and discharge which is coming from rod end, that is why the added or more discharge is given to the blank end, and since we are supplying more amount of discharge to the blank end, that will make your extension faster, and that is why it is called as faster extension or fast extension circuit using regenerative arrangement. Now let us try to understand the circuit and the special arrangement. So this is double acting cylinder with piston, blank end, this connecting rod and rod end. We have two ports. One is on the blank end side, another one is on the rod end side, and this is double acting cylinder. Then we have first switching position of direction control valve with four ports. Port P is connected to A and B is connected to T. By using this hand lever, you can operate this particular switching position of direction control valve. Then we have second position of direction control valve where port P, A, B, T, they are internally closed and port B is externally blocked. Then we have third switching position where A is connected to T and P is connected to B. Now to operate this particular third position, I have another hand lever, and then if I want to operate the neutral position, then we have two springs. Now if you release your hand from any one of this hand lever, because of release of your hand from this hand levers and because of these two springs, automatically the direction control valve will come into neutral position or in the central position or position number 2. This is the so the blockage of port B externally and internally is the special arrangement for regenerative circuit. First special arrangement. The second special arrangement now we will try to see. So we have pump which is delivering some constant amount of flow. Then we have this pressure relief valve. So outlet of this pump is connected to P, and again one of its branch is taken out which is called as bypass line and it is connected to the rod end. Now why is it called as blank end bypass line? Because since it is not going through any of the port of direction control valve, that means it is bypassing the direction control valve and it is entering from the rod end or it is connected to the rod end. So that means the flow of liquid which is coming from pump is divided into two lines. One is connected to P and another one is this bypass line which is connected to the rod end. So this is the second spatial arrangement of regenerative circuit. Okay, so first is this B port is blocked internally, externally, and this flow of this outlet of pump is divided into two parts. One is connected to P and another one is connected to the rod end by passing the direction control valve. Okay, so as usual T port is connected to tank and port A is connected to the blank end. Okay, so now if you want to achieve the extension, I will use this hand lever so that this switching position will come into picture. If I want to achieve the retraction, I will press this hand lever, this switching position will come into picture, and if I release any of these two hand levers, because of these two springs, automatically valve will come into neutral position or in the second envelope or the second position. Okay, so this is the circuit, this is the construction. Now we will try to understand the regenerative circuit for fast extension. So this is the cylinder with the piston, blank end, the connecting rod, this is the rod end area. We have two ports, one is at blank end, another one is at rod end. Then we have this first switching position and its hand lever. Second switching position with port B is blocked, and third switching positions with second hand lever and the two springs. Then we have pump. and a pressure relief valve. So outlet of pump is divided into two parts, or it is divided into two lines. One is connected to P and another one is connected to the rod end by using this bypass line. Port T is connected to tank and A is connected to B. So now when I press this particular hand lever, this switching position will come into picture, and then here the P is connected to A and A is connected to the blank end. So now when you will switch on the pump, liquid which is coming from pump has two ways. One is it will go through P to A and A to blank end, and another one it will pass from this line and it will start entering from rod end. So try to understand that if your piston cylinder, I mean this complete cylinder is completely blank or it is not filled with the liquid, so when you will actuate this particular position, liquid which is coming from pump will start entering from P to A and A to the blank end, and at the same time it will start entering from this bypass line to the rod end. So what will happen is, since liquid is passing from blank end also and rod end also, the blank end will get filled and rod end will get filled. Now since this piston has to move against the load which is acting on this particular connecting rod, so this load will create the pressure inside blank end and rod end also. So that means the pressure which is being exerted in this particular direction from the blank end, according to the Pascal's law, will be transmitted throughout the system equally. So that means pressure which is being exerted from blank end and from rod end, that means this piston will experience pressure from both sides, because since this rod end side is again connected to the pressure line, so that means pressure which is generated at this point will be transmitted equally throughout the system, and the pressure will exerted from this side of piston also and this side of piston also. So if you try to understand the meaning of this particular statement is that pressure at this point and this point, so that pressure at blank end and rod end will be same according to the Pascal's law, because these all lines are connected to each other and the boundaries are confined. But one point to be noted is that the pressure which is being exerted on this particular piston from blank end with the blank end area will give you cylinder force. So cylinder force from this side will be more than the cylinder force from this side, because since pressure is acting from this side and this side also, but the force which is being generated because of pressure and the area, because the blank end area is more than the rod end area. So that means this cylinder force which is being exerted from this side will be larger than cylinder force which is being exerted from this side, because of this less cross sectional area, because of rod end area. So because of that, obviously, because of higher cylinder force from this side, it will try to push this piston towards the right hand side, and because of this movement, liquid from rod end has only one option, that it has to be come out and it will be given again to the pressure line. So that means at this switching position, liquid will enter from pump, the liquid which is coming from pump will go to P to A and A to the blank end, and it will try to push this piston from blank end to the right hand side, and liquid which is available at this side will be taken out at the same time, and again it will be delivered to the pressure line of the this regenerative cylinder. सो तुमचा प्रश्न जर असा असेल की लिक्विड इकडूनही जात आहे आणि इकडूनही जात आहे, मग तरी पिस्टन इकडेच का मूव्ह होईल, तुमचं म्हणणं असं असलं पाहिजे की लिक्विड इकडून पण जात आहे आणि इकडून पण जात आहे, म्हणजे प्रेशर इकडून पण ऍक्ट होत आहे आणि इकडून पण ऍक्ट होत आहे, म्हणजे आयदर हा जो पिस्टन आहे तो लॉक व्हायला पाहिजे किंवा तो पिस्टन लेफ्ट हँड साइडला मूव्ह व्हायला पाहिजे, मग तो राईट हँड साइडलाच का होतो असा तुमचा प्रश्न तुम्हाला पडला पाहिजे. तर द आन्सर इज this piston will move from left hand side to right hand side when it will give more cylinder force from this direction. So if you can see the blanket area and pressure which is being generated over here will give you more cylinder force, because see, pressure which is generated here and here will be same, because pressure which is generated here will be transmitted equally throughout the system. So here all everywhere the pressure will be same. So if pressure will be same and force will be same, there will be change. I mean, and if the pressure is same, if there is a change in the cross-sectional area, obviously there is a change in the force. So here we have greater area and here we have less area with the constant force, because with the constant pressure. So equal pressure is acting from this side also and this side also, but we have more area here and less area here. So since we have more area here and the same pressure, the cylinder force which is being exerted from this side will be larger, and that will move this piston toward the right hand side. मग आता हा पिस्टन जर इकडे मूव्ह होत असेल तर ऑब्व्हियसली इथलं जे लिक्विड आहे त्याला बाहेर यावंच लागेल ना, त्याला दुसरा ऑप्शनच नाही आहे. देर इज नो अदर ऑप्शन फॉर द लिक्विड विच इज अवेलेबल एट रॉड एंड अदर दॅन it has to come out from the rod end side and it has to supply it again to the pressure line. समजते का? हा, तर this is how the proportion of the area of blank end and rod end will decide whether the piston will move from left hand side to right hand side or right hand side to left hand side. Okay, so now, so I hope you have understood this. So let us consider this thing once again. So for extension I will operate this hand lever. Because of this, this position will come into picture. Now the discharge or the flow, the liquid which is coming from pump with QP, that is the discharge of pump, will have two lines. One is to, it will go to the P, and another one it will go to the bypass line. So as I already said, since more amount of force which is given by cylinder from this side will move this piston from left hand side to right hand side, liquid which is available at this rod end will be taken out from this line to this line and to this line again to this junction. So this discharge is called as regenerative discharge, because the liquid which is coming from rod end is considered as regeneration of the flow and which is represented by QR. So after this junction of QR and QP, the discharge which is supplied after this junction will be combination of QP and QR. So let us assume it as this discharge as QT, that is Q total will be equal to QP plus QR. So obviously more amount of liquid is being supplied to the blank end and hence it will give you fast extension. म्हणजे याचा अर्थ काय बघा, if you supply only QP, then the velocity of extension will be depend on this QP and area of piston. But now here you are supplying QP plus QR with the piston area or blank end area. So that means more amount of liquid which is being supplied to this particular area means the velocity will increase. So when you supply only QP, at that time velocity, and when you are supplying QP plus QR at that time velocity, the velocity when you are supplying more discharge will be more. If you are supplying only QP, it will be less than this particular discharge. Okay, so that is why it is called as regenerative circuit will give you faster extension or extension with more speed. Okay, so as I already said, since more amount of discharge which is being supplied to the blank end and this blank end area, because of load acting on this particular connecting rod, so load acting on this blank end area will generate some pressure. That pressure will be transmitted throughout the system equally from this side also and from this side also. But if you consider the force, now force can be calculated by considering blank end area and pressure which is generated over here. So force which is exerted from this end will be more because the area of blank end is more than area of rod end. Okay, so that is why the piston will move from left hand side to the right hand side, extension will happen, and at the same time liquid which is available at this point will be taken out and it will be given again to the pressure line. Okay, So this shows that we will give or we will achieve the faster extension. So now solving for the pump flow, we can rewrite this as this equation as QP is equal to QT minus QR. That means discharge of pump will be equal to total discharge minus regenerative discharge. Let us replace this QT with velocity of extension minus area of piston, because total amount of discharge which is being supplied at blank end will be rewritten as velocity of extension minus into area of piston minus this QR. Now this QR is based on two parameters. One is the area of rod end and the velocity of extension. So this area of rod end is AP minus AR and velocity of extension. So let us solve this equation. So we simplify this equation. So we get this as QP is equal to velocity of extension into area of piston minus velocity of extension into area of piston plus velocity of extension into area of connecting rod. So now these two terms are same. This velocity of extension into AP, velocity of extension into AP with the opposite sign. So these two terms will get cancelled. So what we get is QP is equal to velocity of extension into area of connecting rod. Okay. So now if you rearrange this term, you get answer as velocity of extension is equal to QP upon AR. So now if you compare this formula for simple double acting cylinder, velocity of extension is calculated by considering discharge from pump divided by area of piston. So here now instead of area of piston we are getting area of connecting rod, and thus this area is reduced from AP to AR. Obviously speed of extension will increase. So this is how it can be proved mathematically that using regeneration principle the extension speed can be increased. Okay, I hope this is clear. Now let us go for retraction. So retraction for regenerative circuit is simple, because if you see this particular arrangement you will understand that. Okay, so for retraction we want to actuate this position. To actuate this position we have to operate this hand lever. Okay, so when I'll operate this hand lever, this switching position will come into picture. Now here the liquid which is coming from pump will go to P and P to B, but B is blocked, so it has only one way. So from bypass it will enter to the rod end. So by entering the liquid from rod end with the QP amount, the liquid will start entering from rod end and it will push piston towards the left hand side. So this direction of cylinder force is shown over here. Because of this force, the piston will be moved from right hand side to left hand side, and at the same time liquid which is available at blank end will be taken from blank end port to B to A, and since A is connected to 2, it will give a tank, it will go to the since it is connected to T, it will go to the tank. So this is simple. This is as similar as simple double acting cylinder. Only thing is it is not passing through the DCV, direction control valve, but it is passing through, or it is bypassing the DCV. Otherwise all things are same. So velocity of retraction can be calculated as QP divided by AP minus AR. But now if you compare the formula for extension and retraction for regenerative circuit, you will understand that velocity of extension for regenerative circuit is QP divided by AR, whereas velocity of retraction for regenerative circuit is QP divided by AP minus AR. So obviously here velocity of extension will be more because we have less area in the denominator. Okay. So now let us do one thing. Let us divide velocity of extension by velocity of retraction. So velocity of extension divided by velocity of retraction will give us QP divided by AR divided by QP divided by AP minus AR. So since the QP term is same on the denominator and numerator, so it will get cancelled. So we get velocity of extension divided by velocity of retraction equal to AP minus AR divided by AR. So by simplifying this, we can rewrite this ratio as AP divided by AR minus 1. So this shows that if area of piston is double than area of connecting rod, then velocity, the speed of velocity and extension will be same. So that means if AP is 4 and AR is 2, so 4 divided by 2 will get answer 2. So 2 minus 1 is answer 1. So velocity of extension divided by velocity of retraction will be 1. So that means velocity of extension will be equal to velocity of retraction. So we see that when piston area is equal to 2 times the connecting rod area, the extension and retraction speeds are equal. That means in general, the greater the ratio of piston area to the rod area, greater the ratio of extension speed to the retraction speed. Now, let us keep one thing in the mind, that the load carrying capacity of a regenerative cylinder during extension is lesser than which we have obtained for the simple double acting cylinder, because the load carrying capacity of a regenerative cylinder is equal to pressure into piston area, that is the connecting rod area, rather than pressure into the piston area. So this is because of the system pressure which is acting on both the sides of piston, from blank end side also and from rod end side also, for the extension stroke. And this is because according to the Pascal's law, pressure generated for extension and pressure generated on both the sides of piston is same. So load carrying capacity for extension will be considered as pressure into area of connecting rod. So while considering the load carrying capacity of regenerating cylinder, you have to consider the formula is equal to force of extension of regenerative cylinder will be equal to pressure into area of connecting rod, that is AR. So we are not opting more power from the regenerative cylinder, because the extension speed is increased at the expense of load carrying capacity. So the meaning is we are getting more speed, but with the more speed we are compromising on load carrying capacity. So that means load carrying capacity of the regenerative cylinder is lesser, because we are achieving more speed instead of the that means we are compromising on load carrying its load carrying capacity. Okay, so for regenerative circuit, let us compare the extension and retraction with respect to various parameters, as pressure, velocity and power, for regenerative circuit and for the simple circuit. So for the simple circuit, extension pressure is depends on area of piston and the force of extension, whereas regenerative circuit pressure extension is depends on rod end area and the force acting on the connecting rod, whereas retraction pressure for retraction for simple and regenerative circuit both will be same. Now velocity of extension for simple cylinder is depends on discharge of pump divided by area of piston, whereas for regenerative circuit velocity of extension is depends on discharge of pump divided by area of connecting rod only, because we are regenerating it. On the other hand, retraction velocity for simple and regenerative circuit will be same, formula will be same. On the other hand, power for simple circuit is depends on velocity of extension, whereas the regenerative, it is obviously depends on velocity of extension, but for regenerative circuit velocity of extension is greater, but the load carrying capacity is less, so pressure remains same according to the Pascal's law. So for retraction, load carrying capacity also for retraction, power required for the retraction will be same for simple and regenerative circuit. So this is how regenerative circuit can be analyzed with respect to the simple circuit with the special arrangement. So here we are achieving greater speed without adding explicit or additional any other the component, by just rearranging the double acting cylinder, simple double acting cylinder circuit with some special arrangement, we are able to achieve the fast extension. So now if you have any doubts regarding this, you can ask me through WhatsApp or even by phone call, and I will try to discuss this in detail if you are not understood in the lab session. So all the best for tomorrow's exam. You can expect one small numerical or some logical questions on the regenerative circuit for 2 or 3 marks. So study this well. All the best.